Welcome to the greatest hockey show in the world. Good week, everybody. Hey, that voice is back, bud.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, sounding good and
You
strong.
I can tell you've been waiting for that one.
Oh, I have, man. I've been, yeah, I mean, had a little skating issue with some lungs this weekend, but the voice is back. I can yell now. I can chirp. I can do some
Okay.
shits.
Yeah. Which is what you do best anyway, so.
That's my game.
Yeah.
That's my game. Really get in there with the old chirps. So, Jason, before we get going here, just why don't you tell all the fine folks out there where they can find us?
Yeah, so you can find us on all social media at the BLPA. You can find Nick over at Nicker Jones on Twitter, the Nicker Jones on Instagram, and you can find me only on the tweets at Beer League Jason.
And let me just reiterate my screen name, not any kind of slur of any sorts,
Nope.
right? It's just this is homage to my man, Chipper Jones. The whole reason I got into podcasting, so one day I could interview him. It's not looking good. I've tagged him many times with no response.
We can talk about this a little bit later, but I've got a guy I think that we need to try to get on the podcast that we might actually have a chance to. So
we might have a chance?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay, we will talk about that. So a lot of things, stuff and things happening in the world of beer league sports. But most of all, we just played a tournament in Philadelphia. It was a nice time.
Yeah.
I played 2 shifts of that tournament. Solid 2 shifts.
Yeah.
One shot in those 2 shifts and a puke. So,
yeah,
it was
not terrible stats.
Well, when you come off the illness that I was on,
yeah,
my lungs were not good. And I started coughing, cough. I coughed until I puked. And I was like, you know what? This isn't gonna be fun. So I was like, well, bow out.
If you're coughing until you're forcing yourself to throw up, that's probably a sign that like maybe not ready just yet to be back.
My heart was ready.
Yeah.
My brain was ready.
Hands were probably ready.
Oh yeah, hands were locked. Dangerous. They were feeling dangerous. Just the lungs. The lungs weren't ready, and you gotta, the lungs feed the wolves. You know that.
That's right.
So, and I got something to talk about in Philly. A situation that we had there that we're going to get into, and I want to get people's thoughts on it in terms of that. And so, so we're going to talk about that. Obviously, we're going to talk about Japan. I booked something special for myself. Me and Content Girl Brooklyn. Okay. Maybe we'll get Content Girl Brooklyn on here in a little bit. I don't know. We'll text her and see what she's up to. And the Jason's got some ref stories and some NHL chatter and all that good stuff. But if we could ask you a couple things to maybe share this, let people know we're live. They want to join us.
Yeah.
Let them know. Let them come in and chat with us on screen.
Exactly.
And then also Patreon. We do a lot of things. We're trying to get Jason paid. Patreon. We'll throw this code up. I don't care. Where's that? There it is right there. Is it worth $1? Yeah, it's worth $1. It's worth $100 to you. But there's that code. We're trying to get Jason paid. And, maybe by proxy me eventually. I'd like to get paid and do that kind of stuff. So that's that. So let's just right off the hop. I guess I should ask you how your week was. Like, did you have a good week? Did you do anything of note?
Yeah, I reffed 6 games on Saturday, and then I reffed 9 and played 1 on Sunday for a total of 10 games. So while you were out doing 2 shifts, I was out here putting in my work. My feet still hurt from Sunday, like bad. Just I had skates on from 10 in the morning until midnight.
Yeah, but how'd them lungs feel?
Lungs feel great.
Oh man, I'm so jealous. So jealous. You know what was even worse? Like you say, your feet. Like I didn't talk about this on the podcast, but I broke my foot, my toe, my pinky toe, just walking around my house. Nothing exciting. Like I literally just walked into the side of my bed, and so it was black and blue, and that was my first time having my foot in skates too, and that wasn't pleasant either. But I could tough that out. I could tough a little pain. Never hurt nobody.
Right.
But I couldn't tough out the lungs. And people are already talking in the chat about what I want to chat about. I do want to say first and foremost, I did miss Aaron Broderick. Michael Broderick was there, but Aaron Broderick was not. And to be honest with you, as I do love Matthew Broderick. but I love Aaron Broderick just a little bit more, and so she was missed for sure.
Yep.
So here's what happened. I was the only person in my round in Philadelphia. Yeah, usually when that happens, I just put myself in, and I'll usually decide before the draft who I want to play with. And who I wanted to play with was Brian Santora, because he's been coming to tournaments since 2017, 2016, and I've never played with him. And we always said we're going to get on the same team. So I was like, okay, Brian, since I'm the only person in my draft round, I'm just going to play on your team. No matter what team you go to, I'm going to play on your team. Okay. Well, he got drafted. The goalies were last. He got drafted to the New York Rangers, and the New York Rangers were stacked. I mean, they just were. They had two guys. They were really they had their ringer, but then they had another guy whom I did not know his name. I know him ever since we first went to Philly when we started BLPA and played in another guy's tournament. This guy came out as a free agent, and he was really fucking good.
Yeah.
We'll just call him Dreads because he has long dreadlocks. That's how I know him, just his dreads. I did not know his name was Ross. So when the guy signed up last minute named Ross, I put him in a round and he was lower because he's out. I'm a 5 or 6, right? So I put him in a lower round, and then Santora came in and he said, Ross shouldn't be that low. I was like, oh, ring around? He's like, I don't know, maybe. But Ross didn't come to the draft. If I would have seen him,
then you would have known.
I would have seen him ring around exactly, right? And so as it turned out, I don't like to do this ever, but Ross was filling in for someone that bailed last minute. They got sick, so he didn't actually pay.
Okay.
Because the other guy had already paid, so he was just taking the guy's spot. And so on Saturday, the Rangers cleaned up. Like they were having to stop skating at the second period, right? Yeah. It just wasn't fun, right? The Flyers, on the other hand, were struggling. I mean, their goalie gave up basically, sorry, PT, if I get this wrong, 7,900 goals on Saturday.
Okay, that's a lot.
And I just thought, okay, the Rangers, it's not even having to skate. They need someone to score 7,901 goals. And so I was like, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to trade. We're going to put Ross onto the Philly team, the Flyers team, yep. Right? And it's going to make the games more competitive, yep. Right? Well, Rangers were 3-0, Flyers were 0-3. And you know what usually happens on Sundays when that happens.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a non-competitive game, but the Flyers then beat the Rangers, who they beat them 9-3 on Saturday.
Okay.
It was 6-4 with Ross getting an empty net. So it was really a 5-4 game.
A 1-goal game, essentially.
Yes. Okay. And then the Rangers then played the silver game against the Caps, who I think only had one win against the Flyers the day before. The Rangers lost to a shootout to the Caps. And the Flyers ended up winning a 1-goal game in the championship.
Okay.
And now
people on the Rangers aren't happy with you.
And people also on the team that lost the championship game aren't happy with me.
Okay.
Because they're like, oh, we had to do this. We had to play him. And some people said, oh, you said he was too good to play on our team, but now we had to play against him. And I say, not too good. I said it was unfair,
right?
With the way it was. And so I usually don't like to play God and make the trades.
No.
But this time I thought, okay, this could make sense. It's going to make way more competitive games. And for me, I want every game to end in a tie. I don't know if people realize that.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit who
we don't want anyone to win.
Do I like to win? Sure. But I would rather tie every game. And I would much rather have 1-goal games than 6-goal games.
For sure.
That's for sure. Right.
Yeah.
And so I just want to know people's thoughts, especially people. I see people in our chats that they come to the drafts. What do they think? And now a couple guys on the Rangers were upset. A couple guys didn't really care either way. The Islanders team that lost to them in championship were mad. And I was like, okay, well, even if he played for the Rangers,
you would have to play him.
And
he probably would have beat you worse because that team was better.
Yeah, and so it's just one of those things where, I think we're gonna call Johnny Dunham Super VIP.
Okay.
Super VIP Johnny
Super
Dunham,
VIP.
is the right thing to do. Teams were balanced when Ross went to the Flyers. That's what I think.
Yeah.
And I get it, like, people are ultra competitive. Some people are upset and mad, but I still think at the end of the day, what I did was right. I won't do here's why I hated doing it too, is that now in future tournaments,
People are
people are like,
gonna
"Well, why
want
don't you
you
just
to.
make a trade?"
Yeah.
Right? I don't wanna make trade. The draft is the draft. The only reason I did this is because the mistake was fully on me.
Right.
If I would've known Ross, uh, and he would have showed up to the draft, I would have traded him for the Flyers ringer anyway.
Yeah.
Right? But what I should have done is I should have traded. Why I think they're all so upset is then they had to play with 9 skaters and Flyers played with 11. I should have traded the guy on the Flyers, um, but I think there was a there 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 was a lot of people that were just, what's going on? And I asked most of both teams if they were cool with it. And like the Rangers goalie was, Dan was on the team, he was okay with it. A couple other guys in the locker room were okay with it. So I get it. And I see Tara Stanley, she was on the team, and yeah, I agree. I should have done it on Saturday when I realized who he was. But uh, I'm not a perfect person.
No, you're
I just
not?
try. No, I'm not. I'm
Okay.
first a minute on
Yeah.
record right here on
Okay.
record.
We got it on record.
And but I really do, like, my goal is to make it fun for everybody,
Sure.
and I'm not trying to screw in. The only person I try to screw around personally, Jeff Peck.
Yeah, that's it.
For sure. Fuck Jeff Peck. That's basically what I'm saying. And I say that with all due respect. Don't everyone run back to Jeff Peck and be like, "Oh my God, Nick said fuck Jeff Peck." Jeff Peck knows. He knows. He knows.
So, yeah, I think what there's 2 things that I have from this. One, it's super important how you guys rate yourselves when you rate yourselves. Like, don't try to sandbag. Don't over promise, under deliver, but like try to get. I mean, the list you go through to rate yourself is pretty detailed. Like, there's a paragraph for each one, so that's important. Secondly, if a team's beating everyone 9-3, they're probably the only team having fun on the ice. Like, everyone else
said they don't
probably
want to
hates
play.
it.
They were
Right.
trying to Limbacher games, but like, we don't want to play the Rangers in the championship game. How do we get out of that? They were trying to
Right.
Limbacher people, and
Classic
that
Limbacher.
yeah. And so I just think it's just one of those things. Like, it's not going to happen very often, but in this one,
Right.
I thought it was egregious. Egregious. And here's what I know what's going to happen. We're going to get into a thing where Nick's team is winning, and people are going to say, "Oh, why don't you should trade? Oh, Nick just wants to win." It's not. It has nothing to do with that. Luckily, on this one, I didn't play for the Flyers, and
Right.
people didn't say, "Oh, Nick just did it." So. So I like hearing people's thoughts on that. And you're right. Rating yourself is important, but I'm not a cynic like you. I don't think people are doing it on purpose.
Oh,
I just
I
don't.
definitely do.
I mean, listen, Broderick puts himself as a 1 as a joke.
Well, I do
Limbacher
too,
puts
but
himself as a 1, but like, there's people that just, I mean, especially players that are really good. I know they're thinking, not because I'm really good, just because I've talked with them, and they just said, "Listen, okay, I played high level hockey, but there's so many people that are better than me. So I'm a 6 in that thing. But then you got a guy that leads his beginner division in scoring, but he still doesn't skate real good, and he'll say, I'm the best player in my division. I'm a 6," and it just yeah. I mean, I get it. I get what's wrong, and maybe there can be a better way. But I just don't know what that better way is. I'm open to having a better way. I'm open. I really wanted Beer League DB to catch on, and maybe it still will eventually, where we could just do an algorithm of things and get everything into, like, a mathematical equation. Or maybe, you know what? I'm just gonna put everyone's name in AI and let AI fucking sort it.
just
And then when
figure it
people
out.
blame me, I'll be like, "Fuck AI, bud. Like, what do you want me to do?"
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way to do. So,
Well, we can agree to disagree on the people. I'm not saying everyone underrates themselves, but I think there are people out there that
yeah.
listen.
Well,
I've been in a situation where I heard that, X player had never played before, but knew people who did, so he knew how it worked and rated himself accordingly.
Yeah, it was your
I'm
friend. You did it, and then you had him go
Exactly.
outside and smoke, like,
Exactly.
I mean, that wasn't at ours. We would never allow that to happen at ours.
No, that
Alright,
was another tournament,
it was
some
some
other company.
second-rate tournament for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, I mean, people do plan and scheme and and almost that's actually as much as you don't want it to screw it's actually kind of fun and romantic in a way that people are like planning, like they want to do this to get, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just one
Sure.
of those things where it's like it's just kind of cool. It's part of the game, right? It's just
Yeah.
part of the game. So speaking when I talk about AI, I also are you a crypto guy?
No.
Yeah.
And not because like, I'm like, "Oh, crypto's fake money, old men yell at the clouds," but, like, just I'm not confident enough that I'll be able to make money and make the right moves, so it's just not something I dabble in.
So I had some Bitcoin.
Okay.
I can't remember how much I was up to, point 0.15, which what is not a lot of Bitcoin, but it is now,
Yeah.
right? I mean, 10% of a Bitcoin, 6 grand,
Yeah.
right? But I had it on this platform called Block, and this is why I don't like crypto. I had it on this platform called BlockFi.
Okay.
Then they filed bankruptcy,
Oh,
and I don't get any of my Bitcoin back. I get like 700. They said, "Hey, bankruptcy. Here's our court ruling. You can get your money out now, but it's only $765." And I'm like, "That's listen. I had $6,000 worth of Bitcoin. Well, it was 4,000 until just recently, and so now I'm just like, fuck it. Like, fucking sucks.
yeah, that's brutal.
You know? I mean, I do have some of that Shibu Inu coin, and I have some Raven coin.
But
I actually
that's why I don't do it, is, like, I just feel like there's too much uncertainty.
I got paid for a tournament in Raven coin once.
Did you?
So this guy came when I had the RV. This guy came to the Milwaukee tournament. Had this
Okay.
badass RV, like my RV on steroids. This
Okay.
big, like it looked like actual house inside. It was like a $500,000 RV, and we just got talking. He's like, "Oh, I'm into crypto, and like I bought this with Bitcoin winnings, like earnings, I guess you
Yeah.
said, not winnings." But he's like, "I invested when it was still in the hundreds, and now it's in the thousands." And like, okay, cool. And so so I was like, "Oh, what's the next big thing?" He's like, "Oh, I think it's Raven coin." And so he paid me like $400 in Raven coin at
Okay.
the time for a tournament. Now that $400 is worth like $1,600.
Okay.
That was a good investment on
Yeah.
my end.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to do with it. It's just sitting there. And
Yeah.
sometimes it goes down,
Well, you
sometimes it goes up.
should probably get it out before the company that you have it invested with goes bankrupt.
Well,
That's what I would
this
suggest.
is a different one,
Yeah,
but it
well,
could be.
yeah.
You're right. I mean, maybe, but that's why I don't understand crypto, because it's like, okay, this company had my Bitcoin, my fake money that's
Yeah.
out there wherever, but why can't they just give it back to me? Like, why
Right.
can't they just send it to another wallet?
Yeah, because I think what they do is they cash it out to pay their debts, and then, like, they had so many debts that you only get a
Yeah.
portion of yours back. I don't
Well,
I don't understand bankruptcy either, so I don't take investing or, bankruptcy advice from me.
yeah, we're not lawyers. We're not lawyers here.
Yeah.
I had to I understand bankruptcy only to the point that whenever I got in that car wreck and that other lady that hit us didn't have insurance, and my wife passed away, uh, I had to file bankruptcy because I was like 23 and had like $350,000 in medical debt. And what blows my mind about this whole situation is backward ass Oklahoma, which I love Oklahoma. Don't get me wrong. That's where I'm from. I love Oklahoma in theory. There is a law on the books where like, if the husband dies, the wife doesn't have to assume any of the debt.
Okay.
But if the wife dies, the husband does have to assume the debt.
Yeah, because 'cause
And
you're a
here I
man.
am.
Step up.
Yeah, here I am in whatever year it was, and having to assume all this debt. And I was like, and so I had to file bankruptcy, and they were basically like, okay, well, your debt's gone. You don't have to pay any of it, and cool. And then it was on my credit for 10 years. So
Yeah.
that's basically all I had to pay a lawyer. I still have to pay my student loans. Can't write off student loans in a bankruptcy. And I took like I got uninsured motorist. I got $50,000 uninsured motorist. The lawyer took a third of that. So whatever I said, hey, hospital, you can have all of this, all of it. cheers. And they're like, okay, but you still owe us the other 260 grand. I was like, that doesn't sound like a fair deal. So yeah. So that's basically it.
Okay. Well,
We could rant all day about hospitals and bills and shit.
Joe says take out the 1,600, put it on red, and then you'll have 3,200.
I am due.
Yeah,
I am due. When am I going to Vegas
due.
again? Yeah, when am I going to Vegas again? I'm due.
Hey, so last time I was on a cruise for my birthday a couple weeks ago, I learned how to play craps.
Okay.
Do you know how to play craps?
Nope.
Most fun you'll have at a casino by far.
Will I win?
I mean, I did on the boat for most part. I think I won like about $1,000.
Okay.
But I saw some people lose some money too. So
yeah.
I'm not guaranteeing it.
But basically for me,
you're due.
Ready. Yeah, I am due.
Yeah, we should get you up rolling. Since you're due, we want you to be the roller. Because the whole point of craps is if you're playing with the roller, you want them to roll as long as possible.
Yeah, what are you gonna roll though?
So it's a little complicated. You want to roll a 7 or an 11 on the first roll, right?
Okay.
And then after that, if you don't roll a 7 or 11, and as long as it's not a 2, 3, or 12, so let's say it's an 8, basically you want to keep rolling and you want to hit an 8 before you hit a 7. But during your rolls, people can put money on certain numbers. So like I like playing 6 and 8. So if you roll a 6 or an 8 before you roll the 7, you get paid on those and you can do it multiple times. It's super fun. It's a little bit like you got to be at a table to learn. Like you got to be sitting down at a table and watching. But once you start learning some of the ways to do it, it's a lot of fun.
Interesting. Someone's saying we should go bet on horses.
I'm down for that. I don't know anything about it, but I'm down to bet on anything.
We should just have a money lining show where we just go bet on weird things.
Yeah.
Like I was watching, since I'm going to Japan. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm going to Japan. Not a big deal. I've been watching Tokyo Vice. Have you seen this show?
I have not.
Okay, it's a good show. But I see like Pachinko parlors. There's got to be like weird shit you can bet on in Japan.
Oh, I bet.
And I'm gonna bet on it.
Okay.
I'm gonna bet on everything in Japan. If I see someone put a bet, I'm gonna be like, yep, that one. And I'm gonna point to the thing. That's the one I want and see what happens. Right?
Okay.
Did you know Solar Joe is he's dealing craps for 26 years?
Yeah, I knew Solar Joe worked in a casino, so
I did too. I didn't know he was doing.
He could definitely probably teach you better than I could. Like I got like a crash course, but I picked it up pretty quickly. I think you would too.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a pretty smart guy. Pretty intelligent up in the old brain. But so we just need to start doing bets on things.
Okay. When are we going to Vegas? I want to go to Vegas this year.
Yeah, okay. Well, Vegas is in December, but someone's trying to talk us into doing a summer one. I don't know. The problem is Vegas in the summer, it's so fucking hot.
Really hot.
And I like it to be warm. Like, listen, mid 90s is cool. Mid 100s, like 105, 107, 110.
Cool.
That's not cool. And I know people are like, well, hang out by the pool. Listen, I love looking at chicks in bikinis and swimming in pools. I love it. That's awesome, right? But then like it's kind of one of those things where like you're like, okay, cool, chick in a bikini, but it's fucking hot. Yeah. And the water feels like I'm in a bathtub.
Yeah, and I have a lot of tattoos, which the sun doesn't do great on. So like I'm not really trying to be out in the sun for that long anyway.
Yeah. So man. So okay. So we've covered crypto. We covered the trade, the infamous trade. What else do we need to cover today?
Did you see the goal that happened in the Preds game last night?
Who did they play?
They played the Canadians.
No, I don't watch hockey.
I shouldn't have asked because I know you don't support the inferior level of hockey that is the NHL.
Okay. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Listen, I'm a hockey guy. It's not even that like everyone, when I say it, everyone's like, oh, well, what is standard? And I'm just, for me, if I want to spend money on things, right? Like, let's say I'm going to spend money to go to a game. I want to know that it's like a fairly even. It's like a Dex. That's why I made the trade. I wanted to be a matchup, right?
You want them to trade mid game if they need to.
If they need
even
to.
Out the teams.
No. My problem is probably more on like the officiate. And listen, this is not a dig at officials. I'm not trying to dig. Officials have a hard job. I get it. I 100% get it. I just, you watch it. and I've even tried to watch games that weren't Flames games. And there's a lot of like where calls are subjective and they lead to determining the outcome of games.
Okay.
And it's not even that I want them to do away with officials. Like I don't want these officials when they make wrong calls to go out back, get in a firing squad and get shot dead. That's not what I want.
Good.
But I would but I would like to know what goes through their I would like for them to know like to know what goes through their mind when they're making the call. And
So a
not
little bit of explanation, maybe
just
like a press conference after the game where officials
yes.
have to answer some questions.
And yeah, listen, you made the call. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let me know. Let other fans know, right? And, I would even Patreon the NHL if they could make this happen. I would pay extra. Like, like everyone pays like center ice, right? They pay
Yeah.
to watch that. I would pay a little extra to get the refs on there and just to answer their calls. And I know that people say, "Oh, well, if they have to be subject to the criticism of the media," well, the players and the coaches do.
Right.
The owners
I'm
do,
I'm actually with you on this one.
you know? Oh,
I think
thank you.
refs should have to answer questions. Like, and they are subjective. So like I don't necessarily know, like you're not going to argue with them, but they can at least go, "Hey, this is what I saw and this is why I called it that way. This is the standard I was trying to set. This is whatever," right?
Yep.
Um and then at least then a ref has to think about it when they're making a call. Like, I'm going to have to answer to this later.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember way back in the day, but there was a hot mic, not way back in the day, a few years ago, hot mic at a Preds game, and the ref said on the hot mic, I was trying to call one early on Nashville.
Yeah.
And like he basically got fired for it because it's like, even though we kind of know that goes on, like game management where you try to get early penalties to set a tone, you can't say it out loud on a hot mic. Like that's just, but at least then like they have to answer for that. So it's like, were you just trying to call one because you're game management, or what were you doing essentially?
Well, and listen, as a referee, you know that sometimes you have to take control of a game
For sure.
before it gets out of hand. And I'm not even saying that that's a horrible thing to do, right? Because we know what happens. I mean, we know that happens, right? I just like there was like remember in the playoffs when the Sharks the comeback with the Sharks game when they
Yes.
made the call on the faceoff. Like, let me know what's going through your head. And people are saying refs and umps in all sports. Refs in the NFL are graded.
Yeah.
Okay. The Major League Baseball literally has a fucking strike zone thing where it shows balls and strikes, and umpires are graded on how well they did on that stuff. The NHL is just like, fuck it. Here we the game's over. And
Move
it's
on.
and the thing about it is like as a fan, like I went to a Flames game with my kid and Tanis, and we went for family day, and it was like $260 a seat. So that's $750, and then you go and probably spend $200 in concessions and food. And if Cooper wants some kind of thing, like you're spending $1,100 to go to a game as your family, and you can't get it right. And the fact that they're pushing gambling so much.
Yeah.
How do they expect me to put fucking money on a game when I don't even know? They don't even know what goalie interference is. They don't know what offside is half the time. And so it's like, what do you do? And so I'm not saying that I hate hockey when I say NHL is a substandard sport. I'm saying that there's a lot they could do to improve the game and make it better for the fans so we understand. That's all.
Okay. That seems fair.
And so when you say I didn't watch it, because I usually only watch the Flames because I only have time. And listen, just the other day I was when I was sick. Did I tell you? Did I talk about last time how my TV blew up?
No.
Yeah, I'm just sitting in my sports room, sick. TV's been on for like 4 days straight because that's all I could do. And I just hear a pop, and then smoke comes out of my TV.
Oh.
I'm like, fuck. So I went and bought another one. I was
Okay.
like, it's crazy here.
Right.
You know how cheap TVs are these days?
They're super cheap. It's
Oh
crazy, like how inexpensive televisions are
and
now.
how thin they are. I mean, I
Yeah.
had like the curved Samsung, like 65 inch, was nice.
Yeah.
But this one, like I have like another Samsung, and it's like 75 inches.
Yeah.
And it was under $1,000.
Yeah. Oh, easy.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. I just it blows my mind. And then I watched the Flames game, and I was like, I do miss watching hockey, but I also like when the game's on, I do get upset when the calls are wrong against my team. Right?
It's fair.
It's almost like basically they should just put remote controls in the stands and just let the crowd call penalties at some point. That's kind of what it feels like. But all right. So since we're talking about refs, you can either tell your Nashville goal story that I didn't see, or you can tell a ref story.
Let's do the goal story last night.
Okay.
So the refs were up, or the refs. The refs were up 2-0. No, the Preds were up 2-0, and they got scored on like late in the, I want to say, first period. Face-off happens, so it's 2-1. Face-off happens, comes back to the D. The D man for Montreal skates it up to the red line like they always do and dumps it in, right? Dumps it in across the boards. It nails a stanchion in between two pieces of glass, and Saros goes behind the net to catch it, but it hits off the glass and just goes straight into the net from the right side to tie it up 2-2. They scored 2 goals in 8 seconds. It was pretty incredible.
That's nuts.
Preds ended up losing the game. But that's some crazy puck luck out there for it to go off the window there and into the net. Like, have you ever seen anything like that in beer league? I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
I've seen a lot of weird shit in beer league, but you know what would be even crazier? If we had a producer of this show and we're talking about this, they could get a fucking clip and put it right in this episode.
That would be awesome. That's what we need.
Wouldn't that be insane?
Yeah.
We need a producer that'll jump on here and do this shit. And listen, you know how we could get a producer? If people went to our Patreon and supported us or donated on PayPal, because we got to pay them. Like, we can't just expect producers to work for free. Although that one guy did tell us he was our producer, but he's done nothing for us.
Listen, you can't just tell us you're our producer. We need you to show us that you're our producer.
Yeah, produce something is what we're saying, right? Okay.
Speaking of, before we even jump into a ref story, if there's a producer out there, can I talk about who I think we should get on the show?
Yeah.
Do you know who Cody Hodgson is?
He was an NHL player.
Yeah.
He played for the Vancouver Canucks.
I think he played for Buffalo for a while.
Oh, Buffalo's trash.
And then he came to Nashville.
Okay.
And then he got some disease, and I should have researched and told you what it was, but he had some disease, and it forced him to retire 8 years ago. Like, I won't say prime, but like early in his career, like way earlier than it should have been. And he was like a kind of like, a touted prospect. Like, he was good. He wasn't a superstar or anything, but like had to retire early. So this year he's healthy again, which again, I don't know what that means because I don't even know much about the disease that caused him to retire. But he went to Milwaukee to play in the AHL now that he's healthy. Scored in his first game back, and then scored in every game for like 5 games in a row to come back to his professional career. That's the guy we should get on here. I would love to hear his story of like being an NHLer, being forced to retire, coming back to professional hockey. Yes, it's the AHL, but it's still professional hockey, still a high level, and then being effective like 8 years after retiring. It's crazy.
Okay. I was correct in that he did play for the Canucks.
Okay.
As well. And it looks like he had malignant hyperthermia.
Okay.
What is that? I'm trying to see. It's a severe reaction to certain drugs used for anesthesia.
Interesting.
Typically includes a dangerously high body temperature, rigid muscles or spasms, a rapid heart rate, and other symptoms.
Okay. Which I could see why you wouldn't be able to play hockey if you have those things going on.
Yeah. I mean, I have some of them. Rapid heart rate sometimes. I get rigid muscles, Yeah, no, we should. If we have we'll talk to anybody. Anybody that will talk to us, we'll talk to them. And there's someone else there's a new movie that came out about beer league. I don't know if have you seen the ads for it?
I have not.
Yeah, so there's a new movie and people they tend to get on these kicks where beer league becomes a thing and then nothing ever comes of them. But this movie is already on Amazon Prime. I'm trying to find the follower here. Okay, it's called Late Game Movie.
Okay,
Late Game Movie. I believe it's already on Amazon Prime. I know that They have been on Spittin' Chicklets. And so we need to watch it.
Okay.
Me and you,
I'll
we need
do
to
it
watch
tonight.
it, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it on our next week's podcast. But I think it would be cool. Just like I think we should do shit like this on the reg. Is we should like when we go to like Boston, we should find like a movie theater to rent out, and just invite whoever wants to come come watch, and we watch a movie, right?
I like it.
So, yeah. And so Casey Murphy said he was going to watch it, but it's $10 and it's cheap. Listen, the only way people can produce stuff like this is if people pay for it.
Yeah. You want content? You got to pay for it.
Casey's a VIP, so
okay,
we can't give him too much shit.
Okay, sure.
But yeah, so I think that we should do stuff like that. And speaking of other stuff that we should do, when we went to Philadelphia, obviously I couldn't play hockey because of the lungs, but I got invited to Top Golf.
Okay.
On Saturday night.
Yeah.
And I went. Usually I like to, kind of keep to myself, but I'm a man of the people. And so, when I get invited, sometimes I go. Sometimes I get a little antsy. I just get out there and go. I haven't swung a golf club in years, right? But I was out there fucking throwing darts, bud.
Were you?
And so now I'm like, you know what? Maybe we should do some golf tournaments.
I don't like golfing, but I like Top Golf. I also went to Top Golf recently with a company owned by Frank Panico. He invited me to go, and I was also just nailing the back wall every time, just straight out to the back wall, like it was my job.
You were going over. They had to come out and say, "Excuse me, Limbaugh, can you please stop hitting him over the net?
Can you please stop hitting the interstate?"
So I mean, and yes, okay, we could go to Top Golf as a group, but I think like doing an actual golf tournament would be fun. Where it doesn't matter.
I'm so bad at everything else.
It's okay.
Like off the tee, everything else. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I find if I'm hitting a good drive in my history, then I'm not doing anything else good.
Yeah.
But if I can't drive it, then I can do the other stuff, and it's just like Yeah. But I think just have a bunch of non-golfers golfing.
Okay. I mean, I'll do it for the brand. You know what I mean? Like
for the brand and for charity. I think we're going to do charity.
Okay,
I think we're going to find a charity. I don't know what kind of charity. I'm open for suggestions. It seems like everyone's doing like, there's Puck for Autism, there's MS, there's cancer, but I'm thinking about maybe something that hits close to home for me and some diabetes.
Okay.
Because I'm diabetes.
Yeah.
And
can we do it in Florida? There's lots of golf courses in Florida.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yes. And I think we could also. I was talking to Johnny Dunham, who plays golf, super VIP, Johnny Dunham, and he said we should get one going in Jersey Shore.
Okay, that'd be that'd be
and
sick.
that way you play golf and then we can go to the beach.
Yeah.
Just hang on the beach and try not to get robbed. I think that's what happens at Jersey Shore.
Okay.
And I think that would be a cool time.
Yeah.
And raise a little money for charity. And just have fun. Just kind of expand the global reach of the brand.
I like
of
it.
BLPA.
Well, I'm in. I hate golf, but I'm in.
But you'll play.
I don't hate golf. I just don't like it as much as I like Top Golf.
We'll do fun stuff. Like one time I went to a golf tournament a long time ago, and on one of the holes, you drove sitting down on a toilet.
Okay.
And so I thought that was kind of cool and funny and unique. And then maybe we'll get we'll do like a putting contest. Like when you come off, you putt with a hockey stick.
Okay.
That would be
probably
cool.
be better. Yeah. It's like Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. And you know what? Like I used to play golf one summer with my dad, because my dad golfs all the time, and my brother, and I played in some tournaments, and I know that everyone cheats on like the long drive. Like it's always the last group that wins the long drive. Of course, look, I drove it. And Rip Chubbs is it's all in the hits. It's all in the hits. And so I think that we would have to find a way to combat the cheating, because listen, I know us hockey players, we're going to cheat the fuck out of things, right?
Yeah.
We're cheaters.
Yeah.
That's the way we go. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. That's what I was saying. So
which is why I'm always cheating.
Yeah. Well, I see it in the draft round. I see it in the chugs. I see it, I see
everywhere.
People always try to take timeouts. I myself have picked up a puck off the ice while I got knocked down and threw it in and tried to get it to count as a goal. I get it. We have to do that kind of stuff. So So that's kind of on the docket for me in terms of what I want to do kind of extra this summer.
Okay.
But what we need to do really is get more teams in team tournaments. That would be crazy. Lake Placid opened yesterday, the decks.
Okay. Yeah.
In one day, 55 out of 84 spots taken.
Oh,
that's nuts.
Let's go.
That's nuts.
When is Lake Placid?
It's in September, the week after Columbus. So second weekend, like yeah. So yeah. So what are we gonna go to next?
You want me to tell my ref story?
Sure, let's talk about ref story.
All right. This is a little PSA for people out there. So I told you guys I refed 15 games over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It's a lot of games. It's probably too many. Monday, I had 2 more games, and they were upper C games. So in terms of how the level of hockey in Nashville, upper C is the second highest league. B is the highest. We no longer have an A league. It goes B, upper C, middle C, lower C, D. It's essentially how it breaks down. So upper C players are pretty good. They're like decent players. For Nashville, they're really good. Probably decent anywhere else. So I had 2 upper games, did not want to do them. I was still hurting from my 15 games over the weekend. Specifically didn't want to do them because they're upper C, because it's fast skating. It's not like a rookie or a D game where I can just kind of lay back, keep up with everybody. So I do the games. First game goes fine. It's nice and easy. Couple of penalties, nothing crazy. No one really arguing. It's a nice game. Second game's at 11 p.m. at night. Game goes through, and as the game's winding down, I'm like, wow, 2 easy games tonight. Who would have guessed? Nice and easy. Not a lot of people out there, doing anything crazy. Nobody really complaining. Like, this is awesome. So the teams go through the handshake lines, and then me and the other ref are standing there. We got to kind of wait till everyone clears off the ice. And one of the guys from one of the teams comes up to us and says, hey, I don't really want to harp on you guys. I'm not the type of guy to complain about officiating, but I just I had to change my level of play tonight because I felt unsafe. The game felt unsafe. And really, a lot of contact away from the puck. Some refs like to call that and keep the game under control, but just it wasn't happening tonight, and I really felt unsafe. And we're like, okay, thanks for letting us know. We appreciate it. I get into the locker room with the other ref, and I'm like, can you think of one thing that happened? Usually when someone complains, they're like, hey, this team was whatever, slashing, hacking, running into people. I can at least think back and be like, oh, he's probably thinking of this time, and I didn't call it because of X, Y, and Z or whatever. We got in the locker room, and both of us were like, we cannot think of a single time where there was anything remotely close to undangerous, to dangerous, unsafe. And we never heard the other team complain or bring up anything. So I'm not asking for people to complain to refs. That's not what I'm looking for. But it just was odd to me that I never heard anything about the gameplay or what was going on. And then at the end of the game, a guy from the losing team comes up and says, well, I had to change my style of play because the game felt unsafe. It was just a really weird interaction.
Yeah, that is that's a weird, I guess you can't really control how people feel. Because if you look at, especially when you're doing lower level games, like I'll find like when I go down and I'll play in some of them, they think that if you even touch them on accident, that you were body checking them.
Correct.
Right. So it's just like refs, like it's subjective to that player. Right.
Yeah.
And so maybe just that player, and hey, and props for him coming up after the game and not yelling in your face.
Yeah, for sure.
During the game, so.
And Casey put it out there. A lot of people are confused between no checking and no contact, which goes back to what you were saying.
Yeah.
And I have to explain that to people all the time as a ref. Like, beer league hockey is not non-contact. That is not the case. It is no checking. So you can't lay a check, but there is certainly going to be body contact with other players in almost every game for almost every player.
Yeah. Yeah, 100% agreed. And as much as you try to avoid, that's why people say, "Well, listen, I'm hurt. I'm not supposed to be out here, but I'm just going to come play and stay away from people." It's like it's just inherently hockey is a contact sport. You're going to run into each other. You're going to get close. You're going to get around the net. It's just the way it is. I mean, sometimes I don't even run into people. I just run into the boards. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff just happens, right? So
Yeah.
it's just the way it goes. So, yeah, I mean, that's a good ref story. We want to hear any other ref stories. One thing we started doing also, you don't get to see these, but we should play them on here. I think sometimes on Mondays, every Monday in the Facebook group, we do live barn Mondays where people can
Okay.
post their live barn clips.
Yeah.
And we should play some. There's some wild stuff that happens in hockey, right? I've seen one going around here just recently where the like a guy skated around and like kind of two-handed the guy in the head as he was skating by him, and then it came back around, a guy just fucking lit the guy up, and I'm just like, "Holy shit, man." Like, one, what would make you wanna two-hand someone?
Right.
And then two, I can't imagine getting blown up like this guy did, but,
Yeah, I think we should start playing those for sure because I don't get to see them. I don't have Facebook.
yeah. So, as you can see from our comments in the chat, people are excited about Lake Placid.
Yeah.
And now Lake Placid is I mean, are you gonna go to that one?
I
You
wanna
should
go
look
to
into it.
Columbus, so it's gonna be tough to do
They're 2
back-to-back
in a row.
weekends.
Mirrors.
Yeah, but you said it's September?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, if it was summer, I could probably pull that off, but September will be tough to do back-to-back, but maybe I do Placid and don't do Columbus. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are good. I mean, obviously, Columbus is Columbus, right? It's
Yep.
BLPA Mecca.
Yep.
Philly's vying for it, but I can't get teams to register in Philly for the team tournament. That's what's holding them back right now.
Yeah, because
But
they show up in Columbus for the
they
team
do show
tournament.
up in Columbus. Uh, we also have a team tournament in Lake Placid in August
Okay.
where you get to play. I mean, you get to play on this, the rink,
Yeah.
the Miracle, where the
The rink.
lungs feed the wolves.
Yeah. Maybe I figure out how to make it to one of them. Maybe I do Columbus team tournament and then Placid draft or vice versa.
Yeah, just build a team. Get Frank. Let's get Frank. Let's wait. What's his company called?
Exhibitor source.
Yeah, he needs to make
he's gonna yell at me for saying that on here.
what? This is free promo. This is free promo.
Free promo.
Yeah, I mean, you already said it when you said when you went to Topgolf.
Yeah.
So he just needs to make Exhibitor Source hockey jerseys.
Yeah.
Get an Exhibitor Source team, and just get out there and exhibit things. You know what I'm saying? Like exhibit them hockey skills is what he needs to do.
Exactly.
I mean, that would be a good one. So in Japan, I've been watching TikTok. I'm hip.
Okay.
I know. And you watch TikTok at all?
I don't.
No, I lose. Like at night, I'll just scroll and just watch TikTok videos. And actually, I have to. Okay, I have to pull up TikTok, but Tanis is a dancer, right? Like
Yeah.
she went to school for dance, and she worked in the industry for a while, and now she owns her own dance competition. She says that me and you, because we did those TikTok videos, that we should do this TikTok video. She found one for us to do, and it's a dance.
Oh boy,
obviously. And I mean, I just don't. I don't know. Here it is. Hold on.
I'm not a dancer.
It's like a
little line dancing thing.
Yeah, for our Beyonce song.
Oh yeah, she's got that new song, Poker Face or something. No, it's
Texas Hold'em.
Texas Hold'em, yeah.
Yeah. So she says, like, here's the Dallas Stars Ice Girls doing it, and she says we should learn this and do it.
Okay. I mean, I think I could. Nothing looks crazy hard.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look hard. It's just me and you.
It's not going to be nearly as attractive as the Dallas Ice.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe more.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
I'm not sure which.
Yeah, it would be attractive. Maybe we can get everyone on the ice just doing this line dance.
Oh, we're gonna do it on skates. We're not even gonna do it.
Well, I mean, should we?
Okay.
Should we? I mean, I don't know. I mean, Tanis like wants to teach us. Like she thinks we need to be taught how to dance.
No.
Can you believe this?
Tanis, we got this.
Tanis, listen. You went to school. I learned in the streets.
You know how many times I've seen the movie You Got Served?
Oh yeah,
that was a classic in the 2000s.
Yep. Yeah. And hey, so classic. They brought out You Got Served 2. So You know,
I don't think I saw that one.
I don't even think they made that, but maybe they did. I don't know. Okay, so I've been watching TikTok, going to Japan, and like it's insane some of the things that go on in Japan. Content girl Brooklyn has talked me into doing this 5-hour head massage.
Oh, Jesus.
Where they have a camera and they like put it on your scalp and they show you how damaged your scalp is. And then they massage you.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah. Like I don't have issues with my scalp now not being able to grow hair. Now I'm gonna have to worry about how damaged the rest of this motherfucking scalp is. But I'm gonna do it because she's like, oh, usually there's like a 3-month waiting list, and I got us put on. We're in, and I'm like, listen, massage, I'm in. Like, cool. Yeah. But I'm super stoked about. I am super stoked about the massage, but there's also like this, like they're a big like thrifting place.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go
this last time.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go in and get some stuff.
Okay.
I'll probably buy you some, bud.
Okay, appreciate that.
We're gonna be bougie as fuck. Well, I'm gonna find the most gaudy luxury items, and we have to wear it around every time we're out in like drafts.
I'm in.
So we got Omaha this weekend.
Yep. I won't
Jason
be there.
was gonna go to Omaha. Was.
But
then when he found out flights were asinine, he switched over to Boston.
Yep.
Now we're gonna go to Boston. So there's gonna be a live episode in Boston for sure.
Yep.
By the way, I don't know if Jeff Peck's still watching, but he did come in earlier and say hi to you.
Oh, did he?
In the chat, yeah.
Shout out Jeff Peck.
You
know I love me some Jeff Peck.
I do love me some Jeff Peck too, but it's just like I said, if there's one person that I'm gonna fuck with, it's gonna be Jeff Peck. I mean, it's just the way it is. So then Boston's and you know what else I want to do? And we obviously
lobster
we did
rolls.
Lobster rolls. That's going to be bench burger. Well, Johnny Dunham, by the way, did you see the bench burgers this year?
I did. Do we want to talk about those Reaper fries, bud?
Bud, I don't like hot stuff anyway.
I love hot stuff.
I got tum issues.
Yeah.
All right. And I can shit myself without eating anything. So when you start putting that kind of stuff in there, it's just, and I told him, I said, listen, I don't know if I can do it. And he's like, you got to, you got to do it. And I'm like, well, listen,
pressured into it.
No, I'm a man of the people.
Okay.
And if you bring it out, who am I to then not try it?
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I tried it, I reviewed it, and basically no one needs to eat Reaper fries. That's basically the review. It's like they're so hot. Like it's not enjoyable. Like I don't understand how burning your mouth to pain is enjoyable for some people.
Yeah. So like there is certainly, I love spicy food, love it, but there certainly is a level that's too spicy. Like
it's spicy and hot. There's two different things.
And then it's just spice. Like it just burns.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And this just burned. Like I didn't even try there was like 2 pickles on top. Like they were just sitting. They had no spice on them. That burnt the fuck out of my, like before I even did the video, I was like, oh, I want a pickle. That even burnt the fuck out of my mouth just from the residuals. It had Reaper particle index on it, RPI. And it was just
the Reaper particle index was high in that box.
Yeah, it was so high in that box. But the Assad's hot chicken.
Oh, I saw you like that one.
Oh, it was so good. Yeah. And it wasn't like, okay, the chicken was good, but whatever house sauce Assad makes,
good.
It was good. And I don't know if that's how all Nashville hot chicken sandwiches are. Like, are they all like chicken with some kind of special sauce on them?
No, usually Nashville hot chicken, the spices are on the chicken, like it's a dry rub.
Oh, it's a dry rub, and then but is it like moist chicken?
Yeah, it's usually still pretty good, but they can be pretty hot too. Like what they always say, like if you go to a real Nashville hot chicken place, like whatever you normally get one step down. So if you like hot, then you should get medium. If you like medium, you should get mild. If you like mild, you probably shouldn't eat there.
What is the like Hattie B's is like the famous
Hattie B's and Prince's, yeah. They're the two big famous ones.
Okay, I'm gonna try. I guess I have to try that now when I go to Nashville as a bench burger. I'll have to get a Hattie B's.
I'll do it with you.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Someone tell me I gotta try Bucky's ghost pepper beef jerky. Listen, I used to do beef jerky reviews. And then I just ran out of like different beef jerkies that I could try. Like when I go to gas stations,
there's
because they're all
so many.
they're all chain shit. There's probably an unlimited amount of beef jerky, but not that I can just get at a gas station.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
it's a little harder to get.
And so, but here's the deal: like No Man's Land is my favorite. That's my favorite beef jerky. I like the hot, but it makes me have diarrhea. I eat it even though I get diarrhea because that's how much I like it.
Okay.
So I just,
dedication.
Yeah, I mean, I just like, it used to be when I was younger, like, because No Man's Land is made in Oklahoma, in the panhandle of Oklahoma. Gotcha. You could only get it. I can remember it was exit 222, an hour and a half from my house. You could get it from there. And there was the beef jerky emporium. You could get it. And now it's in gas stations. It's in Love's. Love's is an Oklahoma store too, but it's in Love's. It's in other travel stops. It's so good. I mean, if you like, it's like a drier jerky, but it's got like the smoked flavor. Like it's like liquid smoke flavor. I really like it. It's my favorite. And so I should go back to reviewing beef jerkies, but it's going to have to be, people are going to have to send me their local beef jerkies.
Okay. I like
try.
that. Yeah.
Because I can't, usually I just get it at a gas station and there's only so much. There was one weird one in Vegas called like Alien Farm, Alien Moon jerky. And it was actually pretty good. But another of my favorite is Damn Good beef jerky.
Okay.
It's actually good? It's in New York. It's a good one. Mingua is a good one. That's an Ohio beef jerky.
Okay.
And I found it a lot there. So there's a lot of good beef jerkies. And the reason I'm bringing up beef jerky is because I will take a bite of ghost pepper beef jerky, but I'm probably not going to enjoy it, to be honest with you. It's going to affect the rating.
Spicy. Yeah.
You know, I think
you gave the Reaper fries a -100.
I was so out of my mind, I gave it a -0, which isn't even a fucking number. It was so hot in my mouth. That wasn't even.
You couldn't even think of an actual integer.
Yeah. And so, that's how bad it was. I mean, listen, I'm sure it's probably good. Like, if it didn't have the hot, like, I like cheese, I like chicken, I like fries. That's all stuff I love.
Yeah.
But whatever the heat fuck, bud. And so, so I think that I'll try Buc-ee's ghost pepper beef jerky next time I go to Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
But I just need people to send me whatever is their local famous beef jerky. Like, I've had all the fucking big name brands, but I don't need to dabble in that anymore. You just need to dabble in like this local made shit. See what's popping, you know?
Yep.
So, okay. So we're going to Omaha, Dr. Seuss theme, jacked. Going to Boston, Friends theme, jacked. Ann Arbor, canceled, unjacked. Negative jacked. Negative shout out Jersey Tim, just for fun. And shout out Cosentino and the whole Cosentino family.
Yeah.
Shout out super VIP Johnny Dunham.
Yeah. Shout out.
And then we get into the bashes. We still need Burlington teams. We still need Virginia Beach teams. I don't want to have to cancel them, but I will.
You sound like a dad that's threatening to turn the car around.
I'll turn this car right around. I don't even give a shit. What I don't understand is how so many people are like, yeah, do them, and then they don't register.
Nobody signs up. Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I'm here. There's a guy named Blue Shoe Magoo that just said, "Hey boys, hey, what's going on, Blue Shoe Magoo?"
It's happening.
That's a good name.
Yeah.
That's a name right there.
Yeah.
I might change my so people don't think I'm racist. I might change my screen name. Blue Shoe Magoo. So then we have that, and then we have Cleveland.
Yep.
Are you coming to Cleveland?
For sure.
Because it isn't Kate's family from there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just outside of Cleveland, yeah.
Cleveland. I don't know what theme should we do for Cleveland, you think?
Oh, I really liked the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Can we revisit that?
I was thinking that, and I even mentioned that to Tim, and I was like, I want to do it, but I want all the jerseys to be as badass as the Beatles one.
Yeah.
Because that Beatles one was fucking...
Although I have the Biggie one, and I get more compliments on that jersey than any other jersey I own.
What if we did... and listen, I don't know how many rappers are in the Rock and Roll.
There's got to be enough.
But I think if we did like a rap battle, it's the Cleveland rap battle.
Yes.
And we do Biggie, Tupac, Bone Thugs and Harmony, who are from Cleveland.
Let's go. MGK, maybe? I mean, he's kind of rap, but not really.
Yeah, but let's see who's in that. Let's see what rappers are in.
Run DMC for sure.
What rappers are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Brad, BLPA for life. My Run DMC, NWA, Jay-Z, LL Cool J, Biggie Smalls, Tupac, Public Enemy, Beastie Boys, Pioneer, Grandmaster Flash, and Furious 5 are the ones that just come up.
Plenty to choose from there. So I would say Biggie, Tupac, Jay-Z are musts. Run DMC, probably a must.
But
I would throw Beastie Boys in there because they were like kind of revolutionary for their time. Bunch of white boys rapping.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, do we just do Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or do we just do like the famous rappers?
I think famous rappers would be good. Like again, Biggie. So who's like your Mount Rushmore of rappers? Biggie, Tupac, Jay-Z got to be on there, right?
You know, here's the deal. I get Jay-Z's relevance in rap, but I have never been a huge Jay-Z fan.
Ugh.
I just do not like I just do not like his flow. I mean, I like Kanye. Listen, I like his shoes. We got to talk about those here. And I like Kanye. Geez, you're really putting me on the spot with rappers here. I mean, obviously everyone loves Eminem. Oh, you got them. You got those ones.
There they are.
Those look good.
Those are my new everyday wears.
Although Kanye.
I mean, I think Lil Wayne should be in there.
Wheezy, a little Wheezy, yeah. So now we're just gonna go Drake. Hey, listen, I know that like Jay-Z is the biggest like billionaire rapper, but relevance wise right now, Jay-Z is everywhere. Or I'm sorry, Drake is everywhere.
But you're telling me when the first beat to Big Pimpin' comes on, you don't just be like, "Oh, okay."
Okay, there are certain songs that I like of Jay-Z's, but I don't go and listen to his whole albums. But like Kendrick Lamar, like I can listen to album front to, start to finish.
Okay.
Eminem, start to finish albums. A lot of those guys, Tupac, start to finish. Biggie album. I mean, they just had that. Jay-Z just
okay.
And I just don't like his fucking voice.
So we can agree on Tupac and Biggie for sure. Got to be in there.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Jay-Z isn't relevant. There's a lot of people that love Jay-Z. Snoop probably has to be there too.
I would think Snoop would have to be in there. Yeah.
Dr. Dre, but now we're going that's a West Coast heavy lineup.
Yeah.
And I don't want to offend the East Coasters.
Biggie, yeah, Biggie would be out there by himself against all these West Coasters.
What about the ATL? What about the Lou with Nelly? I mean, there's so many.
So maybe we do like one. We like the best from each. So like Tupac's West Coast, Biggie's East. Then you got Nelly represent Midwest. Then you got like T.I. or somebody
in Atlanta.
Probably Lil Wayne from Atlanta, right? Wasn't Lil Wayne from Atlanta?
He's from Louisiana. I don't think
Louisiana.
I don't think he's Atlanta based, but he's Louisiana. I don't know if you put him in because it's so close to Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't know if he reps that set. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, and then obviously Flo Rida in Florida.
Florida. He's the only one. I mean, it's in the name.
Still got the bad lungs.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think a rap one would be cool. I am going to tell everyone right now, I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if they come after us. I don't care. Nashville is going to be a Taylor Swift thing.
I'm in. Let's go. Let's go.
I won't get to be there.
But I will.
Because it's the same weekend. Is it the same weekend as Placid Dex? Or Bash? I'm sorry.
It's something. You have something going on the same time as Nashville. I do.
Yeah, so you're going to have to hold it down and really rep us Swifties for sure.
I'll do that.
Yeah. So I mean, basically that's so you were talking about shoes. Like, are you not a Kanye fan? You just like Yeezys?
Like his like first few albums were good. 100. And then, like it all fell off. Like, I mean,
I think he tried to out genius his genius.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Like College Dropout, like one of the best albums of all time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It would be up there. Like his first 3 albums, fire. I would listen to them straight through.
Yeah.
Right. But the last few, I mean,
call a spade. Awful.
Yeah. And when he went through like Love Lockdown, my love, that's when he kind of started this. I still like Love Lockdown because I like when artists try different things, like when they get outside of their box. But now it's just too much. Like he's doing too much. Like just go back to the old Ye, and
Yep.
maybe you can't get back to the old Ye because I know all artists want to evolve, and I think that's what I like. I'm a huge Craig David fan. His first album was bomb. His second album was good. His third album, and it started sliding downhill. And now he's just doing like dance party mixes, which is still cool. It still serves a purpose. But every artist wants to evolve and be different. But yeah, I mean, College Dropout was incredible. It was just fresh and new. And I wonder what the next fresh and new on the music scene is going to be. Like what more can be done that's fresh and new? Like I wasn't around when Elvis was, but hearing my grandmother talk about it, that's why Elvis was so big, because he was so different
Yeah.
than anything at the time. And then when you come in and like when grunge came in and Nirvana came out and they hit that one fucking lick on Smells Like Teen Spirit, just
that opening.
And you're like, oh, let's go.
Yeah.
And and then rap kind of got its thing, but now it's like, what is the next big thing? Like
there's gonna be something, and we're probably gonna hate it because we're old now.
But I don't. I'm actually pretty hip and this isn't bragging. Like I'm pretty hip when it comes to the new stuff in music. I don't dislike any music. I mean, I think it's all. I dislike shitty albums, but I respect him for trying something different.
Yeah.
And you know who else is really good? J. Cole. I saw Jay Limbs. He spits fire, and he's talking about you. But J. Cole is also a really good rapper.
Yeah,
I don't know if
that
you
would be
listen
good
much of J. Cole. Here comes Jeff Peck, Mr. Ring Around in Omaha himself. I hope you caught that first part where I said, if there's one person in this fucking BLPA group that I love to just fuck around with, pause.
I think fuck over was the
fuck over term. That I love to fuck over. It's Jeff Peck, bud. Woo! It's Jeff Peck. Love it. Fucking love it. I'm gonna keep fucking him over till the day I die, bud. All my life, I'm gonna do it.
So next week's episode will be in Oklahoma.
I'll be in Oklahoma. Are we gonna do it on like a Wednesday morning again?
Works for me.
I mean, we seem to get a lot more traction when we can get people out of work to listen to us.
And then maybe we do a pre-Boston one on Wednesday and then a live one in Boston on the weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do a live one. We'll do the pre-Boston on
on Wednesday, right? That will be the Wednesday when you're in Oklahoma. Yeah.
So the Wednesday one, Friday, we'll have a pre
and post draft.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do pre-post draft. And we'll have our predictions.
Yep.
And then we'll do one after. We'll do a wrap up, and then we'll come back on Sunday. Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. And then we'll come back on Wednesday and hit with the another episode when I'm back home.
Perfect.
I have another question for you. And speaking of your gambling, money lining.
Yeah.
I have an idea, and I've tried it before, but I still think that it is going to work if we can get it to work. But I want to get your opinion on if you'd like. Okay. I like why I like to do these live shows is because of all this interaction that you see on the screen within people. I love it. I love people talking together. I love the community. That's why I built the BLPA. Thank you guys for being here and doing it. I want to build that around our Dex games, and not just at the Dex, but online as well while we're playing. And I know most rinks have live barn, but there's other stuff we can get to make sure we're always live streaming. But here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to try to start setting up the drafts on Monday. And then we're gonna make a fantasy draft where you pick one player from each round.
Okay.
And then their goals and assists and that stuff. And so you pick a winning team. And then we're gonna try to live stream the games onto like our YouTube channel.
Okay.
And then people can be chatting about the game. Even if they're not playing, they can chat and they can be like, "Have fucking Limbucker. All I needed was one fucking assist that game." And so we can kind of incorporate the whole fantasy aspect of sports with beer league, and then also the community. Do you think people would watch it?
I think it would be a slow start, but I think once you got it rolling, you got to get people in, and then they tell people how much fun it is. Doing that.
It would be a pay for thing, right? Like whatever, maybe you pay $1 or $10, and the winner of the draft gets the pot or
Okay,
something to
yeah.
that effect, you know, where
Now I think you get people a little more interested.
yeah, but when you start getting money in, the only problem is that we know fucking refs, bud. They're not giving them second assists so freely. So I'll have to talk to refs and be like, hey, if there's second assists, like there's money on the line here.
Yeah.
We gotta do it. And so I think that is a a good I think that's a cool thing to do. It's
Or
different.
maybe we don't do second assists. Like, we just tell the refs, "Listen, every goal needs the goal scorer and the first assist, but don't give out secondaries."
Well, but what if I'm making like this fucking breakout pass from way back, yeah, when we're shutting down D, and
Yeah.
I throw that motherfucker right
Okay.
up, and
You're
it
right, you're
goes
right.
to fucking
We wanna give you
Limbacher.
the credit for that.
Limbacher passes over to Peck. Peck finishes, and I want to get that credit. Or what if a goalie gets it?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like a goalie
Yeah.
assist should be some points. I saw 2 of them from our goalie this past weekend, like
I
legit.
I gave
Yeah.
one out on Monday, a
Okay.
legit goalie assist.
So a lot of people are saying live show at the draft party and post the comments on the monitor. So we just have a live show going, and like it has our in the background. It just has
That
the
would be actually fucking hilarious.
and hey, so I told you that I got those Meta glasses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I ordered the Meta glasses, and I got them prescription lens so I could wear them all the time. And so we could live stream. I think it only live stream for up to 30 minutes, I think, at a time, I think, before it
Okay.
overheats and blows up on my face. But I'm willing to put myself in that
Yeah.
in the danger zone. That's what
Okay.
I'm willing to do. So, but I think this fantasy draft thing has legs.
I think so too.
The
People
only
love fantasy. They love it's not really gambling necessarily, but it kinda is in a way.
So if anyone's a coder or even understands like Excel sheets to the point of where we can make a form that then auto tabulates everyone's selections and then adds the scores as they're put in. I'd probably have to put them in at some level, I think. But
Right.
if we could develop some system that could do that, and we don't have to have Live Barn. They have like these cameras you can buy now. It's like $1,200, and you set it up, and it follows.
The puck, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it just follows the action.
Yeah.
To somewhere. Um, so yeah, we did do it. We did it on the Philly decks like 2 years ago. We did it, and it was fun. Like people had a lot of fun, and like people would be like, "Oh, I'm just picking my friends," and then they lost because their friends sucked, which is cool. But if you're gonna pay the $5 or $10 to do that for a chance to win, just pick your friends. Cool.
Yeah.
But we're trying to be
Fine with that.
strategic about it, right? And so, yeah, I think that's a cool thing to do. We just need to set it up. And you know how we could get that set up? If you support our Patreon right there, you can scan that thing. I mean, content like that costs money. You
Yeah.
know?
Exactly.
So yeah, so I do agree with you, Casey, that a live draft party would help get people interested in signing up. That's what I want to do. Here's the one issue. Sometimes draft parties go off the rails.
They do.
And I don't want to get people in trouble if they don't need to be in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just here to have party and have fun. You know, if that one guy's gonna do cocaine and show his butthole, but
Right.
he's only doing it because he feels like it's just something that's going to be seen at a draft party, and then I'm gonna say a joke about it every fucking time I do a draft party. Well, I don't want it to be caught on camera, especially a live stream where we
Live
can't.
stream of a butthole is probably
Yeah.
not a good idea.
But maybe that goes on our OnlyFans. I don't know. You know,
Maybe.
you know, maybe that's the way it works. And here's was an OnlyFans suggestion.
Okay.
BLPA bruises.
Ooh,
So if you
I've
get
had a few good ones,
Yeah, if
especially
you
on
get
the
a
rear end.
bruise, then we take a picture of it and we upload it on our OnlyFans, and you can see our nasty BLPA Dex bruises. I think that's a good one.
Yeah,
I think that's a good
solid.
one. So, Casey says we could set a delay so if something happens, you can cut it off before it streams. Who's gonna do that?
Yeah,
You
we need
saw
a
how good our
producer.
producer. Yeah, well, we don't have a producer. No one's Patreoning us. Well, there are people Patreon us, and we do support the fuck out of those guys. Thank you guys very much. Also, the VIPs, thank you very much. So yeah, I mean, there's so many things that can be done, and I think we could do it. It just takes time and money, right? Speaking of VIP box, that one's rotating through. Also, keep your eye out and about on Thursday tomorrow. The Till We Die hoodies are going to go on sale for $35. We just got to clear out some inventory for some new product I want to get. So the Till We Die hoodies will all be $35 until we sell out of them. And I think there's only like 65 or 70 of them left. So get those tomorrow. Actually, I might jump right off here and change the price to those and then post it in the group to clear out some stuff. So support us, Patreon us, VIP us. But more importantly, listen.
Yeah. Tell your friends to listen.
Tell your friend. And
That's
listen,
free.
If you're on Spotify, I believe we got, do they call it doxing? I don't know what they call it, where they just go in and someone like rates your show low to screw your numbers over.
Okay.
But on Spotify, we used to have a 4.8 rating.
Okay.
And I think we've got a bunch of 0 stars because we're down to like 3 point something. And we're not a 3-star show.
Definitely not a 3-star show.
No, we're not a 3-star show. And so if you guys are out there listening to our show, can you rate and review us? And only 5 stars and good reviews. If you don't like our show, just fucking leave.
Just don't listen. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're adults here, all right? Yeah. We're adults. We can live with people not listening to us.
Yeah.
What we can't live with is false reviews. I mean, that's a lot of 0-star reviews to get us down to 3.9. We're not a 3-star show at all.
Not at all.
So, all right. Well, before we go, Jason, why don't you tell? Well, this is a long one. We're going to get to a 2-hour show before long.
Yeah,
people
it's going to happen.
Right, and there's a lot of people watching. Like there's like
right before our 24-hour show.
The telethon. What if we did 48 hours? What if we keep building on this motherfucker? Hey, and there's like 53 people watching us too. Like this is a strong showing. Strong.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Tell the folks where they can find us.
You can find us on all social media at the BLPA. You can find Nick at Nicker Jones, the Nicker Jones on Instagram, and me on the Twitters at Beer League Jason. Find us, follow us.
Yep. Look, Blue Shoe Magoo back on it. Fire. BLPA-thon 2 hour. I love Blue Shoe. He's my new favorite poster. Blue Shoe Magoo, favorite poster. He is now.
Yeah,
I like him.
believe
Love him. All right, guys. Had a blast at Philly. We're gonna have a blast in Omaha. Then me and Jason are gonna have a blast in Boston. We're gonna do things up right. So come out, join us if you can. If you got a team and you're in the Virginia Beach area, if you're in the Burlington, Vermont area, if you're in the Philadelphia area, if you're in the Columbus area, put a team in our bash. Come find out why people love them. I know we're newer on the tournament scene. There's a lot of tournaments out there. Come see why people love BLPA, because we care about you and we want you to be us. Yes, we do want you to pay to be on them. That's no surprise. But I generally, like, I'm a beer leaguer just like you, and I want to put on an experience that I'd want to play in. And that's why I think we're different, because I love being out there. I'm out there flipping burgers and dogs. Jeff Peck better be out there flipping burgers and dogs for no pay, by the way. If you guys really want to get something, if I'm going to make this OnlyFans, I'm actually going to put prices on it, and it's going to be a live stream of Jeff Peck flipping burgers and dogs.
There you go.
That's what it's going to be. Who wouldn't pay for that?
I would, Jeff, for sure.
He's just out there and he's sweating, and you just know he's miserable. He's just fucking miserable.
And he's getting no pay.
I probably put his team in too high of a division. and he's just getting absolutely fucking smoked on the weekend. And we're just going to live stream him flipping these burgers and dogs. It's just going to be incredible. So, what do you think? That's probably a $10 a month fee right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And we'll just keep live streaming that loop every month, so everyone can get in on it. Right. So, all right. Well, that's it. That's the show. That's what we got, everyone. Until next time, until next Wednesday, maybe there'll be some content this weekend in Omaha. Who knows? Yeah. Alyssa will be there. So there'll be some content going up. Yeah. Until then, be good.